तस्बीह फिरी ते दिल ना फिरिया की लैना तस्बीह फड़के हू इल्म पढ़िया ते अदब ना सिखिया की लैना इल्म नू पढ़ के हू चिल्ले कट्टे ते कुछ ना खटिया की लैना चिल्लियां वड़ के हू जाग बिना दूध जमदे नाही बाहू पावे लाल होवन कड़ कड़ के हू. If the turning of rosary or tasbih beats is to not the heart, what worth lies in holding it. In the pursuit of knowledge does not teach. If the pursuit of knowledge does not teach deference of reverence, what virtue lies in knowing it? If long retreats of solitude or chilla or 40 days of hermit's vigil brings no awakening, what use of such meditative seclusion is? Milk cannot turn butter without ferment, no matter turns crimson after boiling it. Dil bazar te muh darwaza sina shahar disida hu, रूह सौदागर नफ्स है राजन जड़ा हक दा राह मरेंदा हूँ जां तोड़ी ए नफ्स न मारी तां ए वक्त खड़ेंदा हूँ करदा है ज़ाया वेला बाहू जानू ताक मरेंदा हूँ. Heart is the bazaar, mouth is the gate, and the chest is the city. Soul is the merchant, and self or nafs is a bandit who robs the way to truth. Until you kill the self-desires, you will be wasting time. You waste the moment, Bahu, and lose life in the ignorance. Thank you so much, the teams of Muslim Institute and the collaborating institutions, for graciously inviting me to speak on this international event. Conference on Mevlana Rumi and Hazrat Sultan Bahoo, two preachers, and echoing voices of humanity, peace, love, and spiritual harmony. Spiritual harmony, peace, and equity, it's across the dimensions, be those a political dimension, social dimension, or cultural dimension, not just religion. We want it everywhere across the interfaith harmony. So I'm very fascinated when I just yesterday came here and I just heard people speaking, especially the previous speaker and his brother. When I entered the hall, I first time heard him and I was surprised that the Muslim Institute has been kind of this much flourishing since 10 years. And I would request Sahibzada Saab to initiate Pitai's desk here. So do comparative study of Shab Latif Pitai and Mevlana Rumi that I have been doing since last 10 years. Ittifaqan is the same time. And also if you want to start the, Sindh chapter of Muslim Institute, I'm ready to volunteer. Today I shall speak how religion for Sufi, or in the eyes of Sufi, is a source of connection. We have been talking about diversity, inclusivity, interfaith harmony. So how in the lens of Sufi, the religion is irrespective of ethnic and faith-based identities, it is a discipline that bridges the connection and doesn't separate or boundary of separation. And it is heavily needed because the world, today's topic is that the world is spiritually hungry, and especially after the man-made chaos and fragmentation which is created by global politics. Building on this central theme, I'll compare today the poetic visions of Mevlana Rumi and Hazrat Sultan Bahoo. There's a little misunderstanding about my topic. So I'll try to compare the poetic visions of Mevlana with Hazrat Sultan Bahoo and draw analogies between their thoughts, philosophies, and expressions, that how these thoughts, these philosophies, and these expressions matter in 21st century. Both poets offer powerfully profound message rooted in their unique inner journey they had in their respective lives. Jalaluddin Rumi was in the post-Mongol era in the 13th century. He was influenced by many things. Rumi was influenced by theology. He was influenced by migration. He was influenced by a spiritual journey, overall spiritual journey, and then the rare and unique mystical expedition he went on after his chance encounter with Hazrat Shams Tabrizi that made him create Diwan-e-Shams and be the founder of Maulvi order. Sultan Bahoo was the 17th century Mughal Punjab poet. He was present in the syncretic cultural milieu. He had a deep influence of Sufism and a folk tradition. And those all together made him be the founder of Sarwari, Qadri, Sufi order. So coming to the core point, as I said earlier, my thesis is that, and I have been a researcher on that, and I will use it as a base, that the religion has to be source of connection to humanity, not as a tool of disconnect, which we experienced in the 20th century's global and regional politics, led by the Western allies and their alliances and the Western interests, where religion was instrumentalized in ways that deepen divides rather than healing them. So the major reason, this is the main thesis, though I will be talking on the 4 points of Maulana and Hazrat Sultan Bahoo, the analogies that how in those 4 points they have the similar thought. I'll just explain through the recitations, but my thesis is that the major reason everybody should understand in the 20th century, the Euro-Western political strategies were targeted to use the religion as a political ploy against the threat of communism, not just Islam. In Afghan jihad, we were abused. We know Afghan jihad, Islam was used, Islamic versions were used, but before that, long before that, recall the first time when United States of America was entering the Middle East through the Lebanon and Beirut. And the first time they created crisis, the fear of communism and anti-capitalism thought and ideas. But they created crisis between Maronite Christians and Muslims. They didn't say this, but they created religious war, because religious is a very sentimental thing and people can do anything for the religion. So knowing that, they used it. First time in 1959, every part of the world knew that in Beirut there was no crisis, but they feared that Muslim will be supported by communists. They didn't want that. 1963, my first novel that is published, and the second is underway, my first novel, in which I have covered 21st century Pakistan and 20th century Vietnam. Vietnam War was created by the Western allies led by United States of America. United States supported DM government, created first time religious crisis between Catholics and Buddhists. This was the Vietnam War's beginning. We need to understand the Western political ploys, because religion, you can't imagine Buddhists can kill, but of course when you are killing, then it has to be reciprocated. And similarly, I grew up in Afghan jihad, and maybe I will write, second novel I'm writing on the Middle Eastern crisis, and maybe third novel I will write on my own region, that how my childhood was badly affected by Afghan jihad. So the holy war, it has to be responded. The way Islam has been interpreted, this is my journey. I was studying anthropology in the United Kingdom, Sussex University, and there I suddenly decided to turn my thesis into political anthropology and study how jihad was globalized, and I worked on that. So, this is our social, political, academic, and all spiritual responsibility to do that. So what happened? So throughout the 20th century, we see the religious crisis. Religion was used, instrumentalized. So it has drastically reshaped moral, social, political, and cultural fabric of Vietnam, of the entire Middle East, of Pakistan, Afghanistan, Russia, and all the regions now. When you're creating jihad at one place and you are creating the texts through the Nebraska University, then the message is spread across the globe. You can't control it. It's a fire that they've created. So what I think, now coming back to the softer dimension, that how to heal the world. The 4 topics I will be talking today very briefly through the poetry that Sultan Bahoo and Maulana has covered. Number 1 is divine love, which we call ishq-e-haqiqi. Unity of being, there's wahdatul wujud, spiritual journey and ego annihilation, there's a safar ruhi or fanao nafs, role of murshid or spiritual guide, which we call naqsh murshid or rahnamaye ruhani. So I think the world is replete, your human consciousness is replete with the ideas that can heal the world. And I think that Sufism and mysticism is potential to do that. When religion can be negatively instrumentalized, we can positively use it in favor of the collective good of all of us, including irrespective of any religion. So first I will be talking about the first point, divine love ishq hakiki. I will present this four-pronged outline for Rumi. Love is the source or locomotive of creation. He uses very rich tapestry of the metaphors of lover, pir, khuda, wine, fire, dance, ecstasy, and whatnot. While Bahoo uses love as annihilation of ego, which we call fana, and finite, are merging into the divine light, which is infinite. So divine love, as the both poets emphasize, is not limited to any religion coming to that. Ahad ditti vikhali az khud hoya fani hu. Qurb visal maqam na manzil na othe jism na jani hu. Na othe ishq mohabbat kai na othe kaun makani hu. Ano an theo se bahu sirre wahdat subhani hu. I was annihilated when the one or the divine unveiled himself. I perceived no proximity, no union, no destination. There remained neither body nor soul. There was no love, passion, or ishq, no trace of space or universe. I was transfigured into absolute reality, that is the mystery of the pure essence. Rumi says, Ay tobam shikaste, as tu kuja gurizm. Ay tobam shikaste, as tu kuja gurizam, ay dar dilam nishaste, as tu kuja gurizam. Oh, you my broken repentance. Let me translate that for you. Oh, my broken repentance, where I can flee from you, or you who dwell within my heart, where can I flee from you? Ay tobam shikaste, as tu kuja gurizam, ay dar dilam nishaste, as tu kuja gurizam, ay noor har dudide, bi tu chigune binam. Ay noor har dudide bi tu chigune binam vai gardanam bebaste as tu kuja gurizam. O light of both my eyes, how could I ever see without you? Who bound my neck in love, where I can flee from you. You can't do away with it. It's overpowering, it's overwhelming. Ay shish jihat az nurat. Chun aine as shishru ve ruye to khujaste as tu kuja gurizam. Dil buad as tu khaste, jan buad as tu raste, jan niz gasht khaste as tu kuja gurizam. Garbandam in basar ra. Garbandam in basar ra va biskalam nazar ra as dil na'i gusaste as tu kuja gurizam. O you whose light all makes all six directions shine like mirrored faces. O you whose face is blazed, where can I flee from you? Asto kujagurism. My heart is weary from you. The soul is released because of you. Yet now, even the soul is weary. Where can I flee from you? Even if I close these eyes and blind my gaze entirely, you are not apart from my heart. Where can I flee from you? Unity of being, that how Rumi defines Wahdatul Wujud, and how Hazrat Bahoo defines when he mentions self is a mirror for the divine essence and the body is a veil over the soul. And Rumi says the beloved is reflected in all creations of world. Yar mara, ghar mara, ishq jigar khar mara, yar toi, ghar toi, khwaja negadar toi. Nuh toi, ruh toi, fatih toi, maftuh toi, sinai mashruh toi, bardar asrar mara. You are my friend, my cave, the love that consumes my heart, consumes my core. You are the companion, the refuge, the master. Watch over me evermore. Have an eye on me. You are the Noah, you are the soul, you are the conqueror, you are the conquered, you are the open heart, you're the gate to the secrets I pursue. Noor toi, sur toi, dolate mansoor toi, murghe kohe tur toi, khaste be man qar mara. You are the light, you are the feast, you are the fortune that is divinely decreed. You are the bird of Sinai Mount, wounded, you tend to come to me in need. Khatre toi, bahar toi, lutf toi, khahr toi, qand toi, zahar toi, bish me azar mara. Hujroe khurshid toi, khonae nahid toi, rozae ummeed toi, rah de yar mara. You're the drop, you are the boundless ocean, the mercy, you're the might, you're the sweet sugar, you are the poison's age. Don't inflict more pain on me. You're the chamber of the sun, you're the house of Venus, you are the garden of my hope. Oh beloved, show me the path. روز تویی حاصل دریوز تویی آب تویی کوز تویی آب ده این بار مرا. You are the day, you are the fast, you are the beggar's final grace, you are the water, you are the jar. Let me drink once more from your embrace. دانه تویی، دام تویی، باده تویی، جام تویی، پخت تویی، خام بگمگذار مرا. You are the seed, you are the snare, you are the wine, you are the brimming cup. You're both raw and ripe. Don't leave me raw and unfinished. In tan, agar kam tanadi, roh dilam, kam zanadi, roh shadi ta nabudi in hamai guftar mara. This body, had it not slowed down, had not dimmed my soul's own path, would have become the path itself. Be just the voice of my desire. ए तन रब सचेदा हुजरा विच पा फकीरा जाती हूँ ना कर मिन्नत ख्वाज खजरदी तेरे अंदर आब हयाती हूँ शोक दा दीवा बाल हनेरे मता लब्भी वस्त खड़ाती हूँ मरनती अगे मर्रे बाहू जना हक दी रम्ज पिछाती हूँ. This body of yours is the dwelling of the Lord, O mystic Fakir. Look inside. Do not implore Khwaja Khizr for favors. The water of immortality is within you. Do illuminate the lamp of longing. Perhaps you might find what you have lost. Dying before death, O Bahu would give you the recognition or the cognition of the divine. A spiritual journey and ego annihilation. For Rumi, the concept of these spiritual stages is Shariat, Tariqat, Hakikat, and Marifat. Bahu stresses on dying before death. Jodam ghafil, sodam kafir, asanu murshid e padhaya hu. Sunya sukhan, gaya khul akhi, asan chit molawal laya hu. Kiti jaan hawale rab de, asan aisa ishq kamaya hu. Marantu agge marge bahu, ta matlab nu paya hu. A moment of negligence is a moment of hearsay or kufr. The perfect guide told me this. Murshid told me this. I was enlightened with his saying and concentrated my whole attention upon the Lord. I surrendered myself to the Creator, such as my love. We died before death, Bahu, only then attend the objective or dream of the life. Ishq janande hadni rachya, o rande chup chupate hu. लूं लूं दे विच लख जुबाना ओ फिरदे गुंगे बाते हु ओ करदे वजू इसमें आजिंदा ते दरिया वहदत विच नाते हु तदो कबूल नमाज़ां बाहू जद यारां यार पछाते हु. Those whose spirit has imbibed love till bone marrow, they will remain silent. Those had thousands of tongues in their hair pores of their skin, yet they wander speechless. They perform ablution with glorious name of Isme Azam and bathe in the river of divine unity. The prayers were accepted only when the friends recognized the friends of the beloved recognized beloveds. And before that, I would say that comradeship is very important. And comradeship and camaraderie and friendship and union and ishq has to be kind of a connecting point between humans, nothing else. And then the world is beautiful if we just save it from the messy politics. Last point, role of murshid or spiritual guide. Rumi becomes one with the beloved, and while Bahu emphasizes on murshid-e-kamil as essential for divine revelation, I would recite one of my favorite Rumi's ghazal, which is sung very beautifully as well. Pire mano murad man, dard mano dawaye man, fosh be gufta min sukhan, shams mano khudaye man. You're my guide, my goal, my pen, my cure. Openly I declare this truth, your shams, my Lord, my God. As to behak rasideam, e hak guzar man, shukr to ra astadam, shams mano khudaye man. Maat shavam az ishq to za anke shahidu alami. تا تو مرا نظر کنی شمس من و خدای من محو شوم بی پیش تو تا که اثر نماندم Sharh adab chunin buad shams mano khudaye man. Through you, I have reached the real. O truth, O giver of truth, I gratefully stand by you. I'm stuck dumb by your love. You are the king of both worlds. Just grant me your glance. Shams mano khudaye man. I vanish in your presence. I vanish in your presence till no trace of me remains, for such is the rule of courtesy. Shams mano khudaye man, kaaba man, kenesht man, duzakh man, behesht man, moon se roozgar man, shams mano khudaye man. Barq agar 1000 sal charakh zanad be sharq o gharb, az to nishan ki avarad. Shams mano khudaye man. My Kaaba, my temple, my hell, my heaven, my companion of the times, even if lightning roamed the skies for thousands of years more, it could not trace a sign of you. Shams mano khudaye man. Kamil Murshid aisa hove jada dhobi wangu chatte hu. Naal nigah de pak karenda vich sijji sabun na ghatte hu. Meli anu kar denda chitta vich zarra mel na rakhe hu. Aisa murshid hove bahu jada loon de vich vasse hu. So the perfect spiritual mentor is just like a washerman who beats clean the cloth. His one glance purifies, therefore soap is not needed. He turns unclean into white, leaves no impurity. A spiritual mentor is the one who lives within and permeates in each vein. So I'll conclude my today's talk with a mystical poem of Mevlana, which is the celebration of unity in diversity, uses rich metaphor of intoxication in which kings, strangers, birds, thorns, sinners, all are in divine ecstasy and all are intoxicated. Sarabana, Ushtaran bibin, sar basar qatar mast, mir mast, khaje mast, yar mast. O camel driver, behold the caravan of camels. Each in a line is intoxicated. The prince is drunk, the master is drunk, the beloved is drunk, even the strangers are drunk. Baghbana rad matrib, abr saki gasht wo shud, bagh mast, ragh mast, gunche mast, khar mast. Asamana chand gardi, gardishe unsir bibin, ab mast, bad mast, khak mast, nar mast. O gardener, the thunder has become the minstrel, the cloud the cupbearer, the garden is drunk, the meadow is drunk, the bud is drunk, even the thorn is drunk. O sky, how will you revolve? Observe the rotation of the elements. The water is drunk, air is drunk, earth is drunk, the fire is drunk. حال صورت این چنین و حال معنی خود مپرس روح مست و عقل مست و خاک مست و اسرار مست. If the outward form is thus, inquire not about the state of the inner meaning. Thus, the soul is drunk, the intellect is drunk, the dust is drunk, the mysteries are drunk. Shams-e Tabrizi, Bedorat hiç kas hoshar nist. Kafir o momin kharab, zahid o khumar mast. O Shams-e Tabrizi, around you, no one remains sober. The infidel and the believer are drunk. The ecstatic and wine seller are drunk. Thank you so much.